Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd just do a little bit of a sit down video. Well, not a little bit of a sit down video, it's definitely a sit down video. And I thought I would talk to you about my advice on how to start a theatre vlog. I've had quite a few questions recently asking for advice on how to get into talking about theatre on YouTube, and I thought that's a good video idea. I'm gonna do that. Obviously, this is just my advice. I wouldn't say it's like the be all and end all, but I feel like it's probably a good start. First of all, above anything else, I'd say you absolutely, obviously, need to have a passion for theatre and talking about it. It's very different talking to a camera about theatre, especially if you're vlogging in public, in comparison with just chatting to your friends about it. You might not initially be quite natural on camera, and that's fine because it's a really weird thing to get used to. Even now, after a year and a half of me kind of consistently doing this, I still sometimes sit down and feel like such an idiot in front of the camera, and especially when I'm vlogging in public. If you feel like you're going to be pretty confident doing all of this though, and you love talking about theatre, then theatre vlogging is definitely a good idea for you. Something that I didn't do when I started my channel, and I kind of wish I had, but at the same time, I don't think it's the most important thing, but you kind of want to decide how you want to make the theatre videos that you want to make. Do you want to do vlogs where people can follow you on your journey to the theatre, your experience while at the theatre, and then do like I do most of the time, have a little sit down bit at the end where you talk through your thoughts? Or do you want to do it in a reflective style where you just sit at home and just chat through your experiences of the show? As well, do you want to give advice to people about theatre and Theatreland, or your anecdotes, like stories that you have from maybe either just going to the theatre or being in productions? There are loads of different things that you can do within theatre vlogging, and I don't necessarily think you have to stick to it like one of those things and only do that, but it's kind of good to have in mind the type of content that you want to make and what you kind of want to hone in on. In terms of equipment to film vlogs, honestly, you could just use your phone if you wanted to. Most modern phones have brilliant cameras on, and you can easily just use that. It's probably a lot less daunting as well than having a camera in front of you from when you're starting off. I started off theatre vlogging / vlogging in general on my iPhone, so you can definitely do it. If you can and want to, you can always buy a little compact camera. When I decided that I wanted to actually do more vlogging and be a bit more serious about it, I got the Canon G7X, which is a very popular camera for YouTube. You could also get the G7X Mark II, which is just the later model of the camera if you wanted to. The G7X is a brilliant camera. It does everything you need it to do for vlogging, and I'd highly recommend that one. A tip on if you're using your phone, as daunting as it can be, holding your phone up in front of you and not having the screen facing you, the quality of your videos will be better if you use the camera that's on the back of your phone. It will make framing the shot a bit harder. Obviously you can't then see what's on the screen and what you're filming, but the quality will be better, so it's worth it. Obviously, if you happen to have a DSLR already, and that's like a big camera that I'm using to film on right now, it's not as easy to walk around with these cameras and vlog with them, but for sit down videos at home, I definitely recommend using one of these if you have it available. I wouldn't say you should purchase one initially when you start vlogging because they can be quite expensive, but if you happen to have one, or if someone in your family has one anyway, the quality will definitely be better. So you've got your ideas, you've got the equipment, be it your phone or a camera. Obviously the third thing is to go to the theatre. I know for some people it's not as easy to just go to the theatre every week or every other week or every month, but this is why I say you can do sit down videos and talk about previous experiences if you want to. I feel like this is a good way to ease into it and like get used to being in front of a camera and talking to a camera. You don't have as much pressure on yourself then as well, because obviously it's stuff that's already happened. And I think it might be a good activity to like get used to the whole YouTube thing. If you are able to go to the theatre often and this is the point where you want to start theatre vlogging, then I recommend that you film as much as you can. So film your journey to the theatre, obviously not from your front door because, you know, privacy and all of that, but like your journey. Are you taking the train? Are you taking the bus? Are you taking the tube? Show us some little clips of that. Show us the outside of the theatre and the posters, the marquee. Show us the merchandise, the foyer. Show us picking up your tickets if you feel comfortable filming that. That's a really awkward moment that I find when I'm filming, because I don't want the box office people to think I'm just filming them for the kicks. I'm filming like the ticket process. But yeah, film that if you feel comfortable doing so. Film the interior of the theatre. You might have an usher telling you off at some point, but obviously you're not going to film the show because you're a good person. Just let them know that. You can just say, I'm vlogging. Most people know the phrase nowadays. Or just stop if they are being really arsey about it. Once you're in the auditorium, obviously you want to show people what your view is like and what the interior of the auditorium looks like. Just film as much as possible, and if you're maybe not comfortable with filming as much, then at least take photos, because if you're going to do a sit down video where you're then just going to talk about the things that happened in your theatre trip, it's always good to have photos to show on screen. Some things are really hard to explain, so if you've got the photos there, that'll really help in just being like, this is the merchandise, this was the view from my seat, this was the outside of the theatre, and so on. Also, I apologise for my lighting. The sun cannot decide what it wants to do. In terms of your thoughts on the show, try and jot them down as soon as you can. If you have some time in the interval, literally get the notes up on your phone and just jot down what you think of the show so far. Have there been any standout moments for you that you really want to mention in your review / vlog? Anything that you've really loved about the show so far. If it's a brand new show to you, what's the thing that stuck out the most in terms of the story for you? Things like this will really help, because the amount of times that I come to film the end part of my vlogs a couple of days later and I've forgotten about some little details, and then days after I remember and I've not put it in the vlog. It's so annoying. So jot down some notes in the interval and also post-show just on your journey home, and then you've got them there fresh from your mind, ready to speak about in the video. In terms of filming the end part of your video, if you're doing it as a follow along vlog or if you're doing it in terms of a reflective vlog, I try and focus on mentioning just like a key few things from the show. I say a key few things, you know what I'm like, I ramble on about everything. But obviously you want to let people know what you thought of the story overall, the principal cast, and then potentially some ensemble members if they obviously really stuck out to you. What was the music like, if it was a musical? What was the choreography like, the sets? Just some of the big things that are like the most obvious things when you're watching a show. In terms of editing software to put your footage together, it really depends on what type of computer you're using. I use Apple MacBooks, and I started off back in the day on iMovie, which is very simple and easy to use. It gets the job done. I've since moved on to using Final Cut Pro because I feel like I can just do more with it. I've also tried using Premiere Pro. I've not got on with it as much, but I just need to learn it. So it's finding software that works for you. I think if you've got a MacBook or an Apple computer or whatever, and iMovie is there for you, it is brilliant to learn on, and I would highly recommend it. As I've said, I'm an Apple person, so I'm honestly not sure on what software is out there in terms of non-Apple stuff for editing. I feel like Sony Vegas Pro is meant to be good. If any of you are watching who make vlogs and you're a non-Apple person, do let us know some recommendations in the comments. You can just do a simple Google search though for like beginners software for video editing or free video editing software, etc., and I'm sure you'll be able to find something. And then really it's just in terms of how extreme you want to go with your editing. If you just want to be simple and chop the clips up and put them all in the timeline, very simple software will do the trick for you. That is my brief advice on how to make a theatre vlog. I hope that's helped you in some way or form. If you have no interest in starting theatre vlogging but you watch this video anyway because you're a lovely person, then I would actually love to know your favourite theatre vloggers or just vloggers in general. I'd love to know your recommendations in the comments because it's always nice to discover new people on YouTube. If you are someone who's wanted to start doing theatre vlogging, then I really hope this video has helped you. I hope it made sense because all of this stuff, it's just kind of natural and routine for me. I've forgotten what it feels like to be a beginner. And if you have any more questions, I know there is so much more that I could have said in this video, so just ask me in the comments and I will get back to you. If you've enjoyed this video, if it's helped you, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more theatre content from me. Thank you again for watching. I hope you're all doing really well and I will see you very soon. Bye!